Yeah, we'll be honoring to have Mr. Swapnil Gupta in Generative AI consultant at Deloitte. He'll be sharing his experience how to build a powerful career in cloud computing and generative AI and applications. Without any further delay, we'll hand over the session to the sir. It's yours, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting. Thank you so much, everyone who has joined. So we will start by discussing knowing your level. So how many of you are very fresher, like first time hearing about generative AI? Raise your hand if you are hearing first time about generative AI. One. And how many of you has heard about first time for the first time you have heard about cloud computing? Okay, cloud computing, most probably most of the people are aware of. Is there anyone from technical or totally non-technical field? Like how many are from, first let's go with non-technical. How many folks are from non-technical field? Okay, so you all must from some technical college or pursuing some technical degrees or diploma. That's good to know that. Okay, so it would be easier for you to understand and move ahead with that. Okay, so let's start. Let's keep the momentum. So I'm Swapnil Gupta. I'm working with Deloitte, and I'm working as a Gen AI developer. Before that, I was working as a full stack developer. Cloud. So in the full stack development, cloud computing is also part of that. Okay, so right these days, cloud computing is part of everything. Whether we are talking about AI application or full stack application, just cloud computing are everywhere. uh, Now people prefer cloud native environment. What is cloud native environment? Basically, we develop our application inside cloud itself. And what does it mean by those who are very new? What does it mean by cloud? So cloud does not means the actual cloud. It means the server that is not, or a computer. Server is basically a computer that is not sitting right in front of you. It might have been placed somewhere else, like AWS manage their own server, Microsoft has their own server. Okay, and they are not sitting right in front of your desk. Like right now, your mobile phone and everything is sitting in front of your desk, and you are using it. But there might be possibilities. It could not be in front of you, but it might be sitting somewhere else. It might be placed somewhere else. And let's suppose if I want to use that, how I want to use that. Okay, so how do you want to use that? So basically, cloud companies like AWS, Azure, and Google give you interface where you can connect with those laptops, those computers, those servers. Okay, so this is for the general understanding who is using or hearing first time what is cloud computing. Okay, so okay, now I understand, like those who are raised their hand. Is the cloud computing clear for you all? So how do you, one question, if anyone likes to unmute, if you guys have access, if anyone like can come on and speak, like how many of you know how do we connect with the cloud servers? Like if anyone has knowledge, let's suppose I created a cloud machine, a server that is sitting somewhere else, not in front of you. What is the primary method? Like how do we basically connect these days? Any idea, anyone? Like how can you connect a computer that is not in front of you? Anyone? Feel free to unmute. One, only by speaking you will learn new things. Okay. So curiosity is not limited to just limiting to yourself. Please feel free to share with everyone. Anyone? Okay, I think you are still feeling little shy, but make sure to speak so that we can have two-way interaction and ask doubts along the way. So cloud computing, how do we connect with the cloud computers? Is basically through internet. So internet is the first and foremost requirement. Okay. So okay, let's try with another thing. Let's talk one more question. Like which is the major cloud provider do you know? Feel free to put in chat or feel free to unmute and speak. Which is the Which is the cloud platform you all know? Oh, AWS. Any other apart from AWS? Azure. Anyone else like to try? Just name of cloud platform. Google Cloud, that is good. Only one person is answering. Where you guys are not sitting in a class. You are here to learn something. If you want to learn something in a very short amount of time, this is the right way opportunity, right? You will learn industry level of knowledge. So keep sharing. Amazon. Oh, Amazon Cloud is basically AWS. Okay. So more answer. I need more answers. Just drop in the chat. Okay, you just have to type 3 letters. Already someone has typed. So keep going at that. That is your opportunity to learn. Right. Okay, so major provider is AWS. I'll be okay. GCP is from Google. Okay. Okay, great answers, everyone. Okay, so these three are the major, but IBM has its own cloud. Oracle has its own cloud. So a lot of people are shifting towards cloud. Okay, and now let's talk about what is Gen AI. Do you guys know about AI? How many of you know what is AI? Since you are from technology, I'm expecting at least 1 2 answers coming from you, or at least raise hands if you know what is AI. What do you understand by AI? Okay, one answer. And how many hands are? Only one. So only one person knows what is AI. You guys are living in AI era. Take that opportunity. Okay, okay. One more hand. Okay. Anyone else who knows what is AI? So AI is nothing. It's oh, some more answers. That is great. That is great. Okay, okay. Some chat in the chat. Some answers are coming. I think if I wait for few more minutes, some more answers will come. I would expect. Okay, anyone else could think of it? Like, what is AI? What is artificial intelligence? To make like human thinking. Okay, what are the things you make like human thinking? That answer is correct. But whom to make which replica of brain? Correct. Somewhat closer, but yeah, reasoning. Okay, okay. Okay, so simply what is AI? AI is like training machine to think like human. Yeah, this one is correct. It's answered by Srija. So I think this answer is more resonant. Like, so you if you wanted to make your machine like a human, okay. So that uh uh, for what are the techniques we have available now, right now? So earlier we used to take a model. What is model? We take a machine. We start feeding our data. Let's suppose I have a machine and I want a machine to talk like myself. So what I would do, I would take a lot of data, whatever data that is available to me about myself. I would start feeding to machine. The machine would learn. There are some techniques that we can discuss sometimes later in some later series if it is AI specific. So that takes the data, it learns on top of that and start giving output like that. Okay, so AI is nothing, it's just like training a machine so that it gives output like you. And what are the advantages? Advantage will be like there would be less dependency on yourself, and even it can work as your personal digital assistant, whatever you can call. So these days with the Gen AI, mostly people are targeting to, have a digital assistant. Okay, that can talk like themselves, that can reason themselves like that. So this was the major goal of AI. And now let's move to Gen AI. Okay, so Gen AI is field of AI in which AI in which we are going to use large language models. So how many of you heard of large language models? Okay, model is nothing, is just training the AI model, AI machine. So how many of you heard of large language models or LLMs? It's very trending term on LinkedIn these days. Okay, one, two, Oh, great, 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 great. A lot of people are have heard. So you guys are already aware with LLMs. And how many of you heard of Chat GPT? This thing, if you are still aware unaware of that, that means you are living inside a cave. You can raise it. Okay. So Chat GPT is nothing but a large level model. So it is just an AI model that is so good at learning so that it can also predict what you want to think. So it's nothing that the letters you see, it's not actually writing like you, it's predicting. Okay. So if it is saying, if you're saying, if you type Chat GPT, hi, how are you? Okay. So it will answer, I am fine. But it is not generating, I am fine. It is predicting. After I, it should be M. After M, it should be fine. So it is so good at predicting, we think that, oh, it is actually talking to me. But it's not the case. It is actually predicting our human words. So we have trained it with so much of data that it becomes so good with prediction. And why it is called large language? Because a large amount of data has been fed into the system. Now you guys all know what is LLM. So congrats yourself. Someone might react with clap if you guys have done good job. Now you guys officially entered into the world of Gen AI. Okay, so let's talk. Let's clap for yourself, and then let's move to the short presentation. What we can go ahead, share my screen. We can talk about that. And okay, drop. Feel free to drop any question in the chat. We will we can discuss it right after the lecture. Okay? Feel free to if anytime if you get any doubt, anything like you feel like you wanted to know about something, you're just curious, feel free to know. Okay, I'll try to answer. Okay. And is my voice properly audible? Let me just share my screen.
Yes, so it's audible.
Okay. Is my screen visible too? To
Yes, so
people
it's
able to?
visible.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the topic that we have discussed. So now let's suppose if you are new to Gen AI, like or new to cloud computing, what is the major requirement? How you can be a cloud developer or a Gen AI developer. Okay. So first of all, you need Python, right? Python is very much important. And obviously there are no code options available in the market. So feel free to utilize like Canva, like Replit. No, Replit is coded, Lovable, Cursor. So you can check that out. There are a lot of no code option is available for the users. So you can utilize that. And but majorly, if you are all are in technical field, Python is the most important. It is also needed to develop your backend application, backend of AI system, and JavaScript and Next.js is for front end. Okay, so these you can take a note, like you can write it down. Like this is very important. This is still even with lot of no code tool will be coming into the picture, but still Python and JavaScript are not going anywhere. Programming languages are always going to be there. So make sure. So even though people are calling it, you can totally code in English or anything, but it's very good to have the knowledge of these Python programming, JavaScript, and Next.js because 4 or 5 years, I think there would be still these programming languages are going to be continuing. So at least we can be hopeful for that. And then if someone is very curious and wanted to go next step in learning AI, advanced AI, building their own model, they don't want to use Chat GPT. Like they wanted to be creative. Okay. They wanted to train with their own data. They don't wanted to use LLM. Then there are libraries, TensorFlow and PyTorch. Okay. You can note it down. But the foremost requirement is basics of Python. Okay. Next, you will need to choose one cloud computing platform. So we have talked like where you, how can you access computer that is on server, that is on internet. So you will need at least one platform. Either you will need AWS, either you need Azure, or you need Google Cloud. So anyone is fine, but Azure is the maximum cloud platform that has been used. Okay, not sorry, not Azure. Azure is for AI mostly these days, but mostly AWS is platform which is used for every industry. Like AWS is the most popular one right now. So learning AWS is must have skills these days. And also you will get 1 year of free trial if you just jump in and search for AWS, and you will got free trial. Just it will charge you 2 rupees for verification and all, but mostly free tier you will get all the services. And now let's talk about Gen AI, how you can become good at Gen AI. So Gen AI is basically utilizing the AI models, utilizing the computational machine, powerful machines like ChatGPT for your application. Okay. So let's suppose if I wanted, so ChatGPT is so powerful, we all know. And let's suppose I wanted to use in my mobile app. Okay. So how can I use it? So uh it's Gen AI, it's the field of Gen AI which let us use those LLMs. So we have to understand what is LLM, that we just got to know. Second thing is how to use LLM. Okay, so that is LLM. Second thing, let's suppose ChatGPT doesn't have your own data. Like it doesn't got your own data. You can give some specific amount of data, but think of it like a big company. Big company have millions of files, okay, or at least thousands of files, okay, that is shared across team and everywhere. They don't, they cannot just give everything to ChatGPT. They wanted to train on their own server with their own data. So what is that process called? That process is called RAG, okay, where ChatGPT like LLM, Google, Gemini, or Claude, they all will take your own data, or you will take their API keys, put it into your own server, give it them your own data, own server, own database, everything, and they will work and predict things on your own data. So you will need this RAG. You will also work with lot of API keys you might have heard of, like you will need API. So each platform, like whenever you go to ChatGPT and search for ChatGPT API keys, so or OpenAI API keys. So it will give you API keys that you can use in your application. So you will need this as well. And next very popular field, that is, just come back to the screen. Uh, how many of you have heard of AI agents? How many of you have heard of AI agents? How many of you heard of AI agents? Okay, one, two hands, three hand. Okay, so AI agents are nothing. Like imagine, like we all have heard of robots, right? So robots is for doing your work, right? So imagine if the bots are inside your computer and two bots can talk. They can give you better result, better operation, better answer. They can do some work for you. Like let's suppose if I wanted to book a ticket, okay, if you say Chat GPT, oh cool, I've been into workshop called A2A agent. Wow, nice. So that is great. Okay, so let's suppose two bot can talk to each other and they can come on to a conclusion, better answer, better performance. And it has been generally seen that instead of talking to one LLM, if we talk to two LLM or same two bots, the performance is slight better. Even I have used AI these days and I really love the performance. So AI agents are nothing. It is just two bots talking to each other, and they also can take some action on your behalf. So, for example, booking a ticket, making a payment, or putting something on your calendar. Okay. So AI agents are next big thing that you guys need to learn if you wanted to come into Gen AI space. If you wanted to build your own AI agents, I would recommend you to checking AutoGen. You can wrote it down, and also you can check N8N, and you can also create it with Zapier. So these are 2 3 platforms. You can write it down. Zapier is no code, but AutoGen is coded. So you can note it down as well. So these are the few tech stack that can make you an AI developer. Apart from that, let's move to the next thing. So next thing, you will need creativity and curiosity. If you think that, hey, I'm going to follow the conventional method, I'll do whatever ChatGPT is saying, I will do whatever people are saying around me, you won't be able to thrive and sustain in this field, because already you might have heard a lot of scary thing. It is not going to replace you, but obviously we have to become creative. We have to put our intelligence, our creativity on top of that. So once you start being creative, and you will be slightly started doing better. For example, if you guys might have heard about ghibli trend, so some people started taking money, started charging money for that as well. So that is one good example of human creativity, the where human AI working and people making money out of it. So making money is the creative skills that you can go ahead of that. Okay. And what are the tools we have discussed? You will need OpenAI API key. You will also go and check for Hugging Face. Okay, what is Hugging Face? It has a lot of models, a lot of space. You can check that out. You will explore on yourself. Everyone is new. So once you explore that, you will know what actually Hugging Face is, why people are hosting models, why, what are the models available. Okay. And if you wanted to use different version, you don't want to use OpenAI, Google, then Twitter also has a Grok. Grok is very powerful. And there is also a platform called Grok, Grok. Okay, this Grok is free. Okay, if you wanted to start with free LLM, this Grok is free. My screen is visible. You can check that out, grok.com. This is free for initial free for testing and all. So far, this is free APIs. You can try it out yourself. Yeah. And also, if you guys are curious and if you got interested more, if you wanted to get into serious Gen AI development, then AWS Bedrock is your go-to. Okay. And what are the things in, we talked about Gen AI. Now let's talk about cloud. What are the things you need to learn in cloud? Okay. So you can make a note on this or take a screenshot if possible. You will need Lambda if you are in AWS. It is called Lambda. If you are on Azure, it is called function. Okay. So you need to learn what is serverless architecture. What is serverless? Basically, server means a machine. Serverless means a machine that is not managed by you. Okay. A machine that is managed by some other company or any other organization. So AWS is one of the like where you can have your own server as well, and you can have serverless architecture under the name of Lambda. You can search for Lambda. Don't just restrict yourself, just write out the name and just keep searching about that. Then only you will spark the curiosity and you will learn more. You can also check for EC2. Let's suppose if you wanted to make your machine in cloud. Let's suppose you wanted to create a Windows machine for some other purpose, like let's suppose you wanted to host your application into the cloud. How do you host that? So there is one option that we have talked, Lambda, but you don't have control over Lambda. If you wanted more control, then go with EC2. If you wanted to store data over the cloud, whatever data files you wanted to store, so you can go with S3. Okay. And there is one more thing. If you get advanced, like if you wanted to host your application into faster manner, like you all must have heard of why Hotstar can able to handle crores of viewers, okay, million of viewers at the same time. So it's all because of Docker and Kubernetes. So if you are interested about that, learn about Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, but this is something you can learn later on once you are get familiar with that. Okay, and these are the important tools that you need to install. First is VS Code. Okay, so that will install a ID where you can code. VS Code is place where you can code. Since you are flop technology, so I don't need to explain what VS Code is. But let's suppose someone comes, hey, I don't have very good machine, right? So you can search for Jupyter or Google Colab. So in that, you don't need to download. You can just host, you can run your code into the cloud, into the server. You don't need to put something, you don't need to run codes into your machine. It will be directly on, it will be online only through internet. So no need of powerful machine. And also you can run your code inside Replit as well. You can note it down if you want. You can run all the code inside Replit. These are the tools you will be needing. And see, we have already talked about this. If you wanted to make AI application, you will need Bedrock, AWS SageMaker. These are the services. Azure has Azure AI service, AI Foundry, okay, Azure function. Azure function is basically lambdas, serverless lambdas, but it is known as by different name. Okay, and S3 is called here blob storage. So it's just change of name. Things will be same. Only names are changing. Okay. So similarly, Google AI function has Vertex AI, Google Cloud Studio, and Cloud Function, and EC2 is called here Compute Engine. Basically, you create your own server. And most popular, Gemini. You all must have heard of Gemini, right? Because it sits in everyone's phone these days. Okay. So let's take here. Let's not just be only the listener of this project or this session. Be let's I'm giving you some ideas that you can work. Okay, that on that you can work and just be creative. So this the starting point, you can make a chatbot project. Okay. Next is image recognition using Google's Vision Pro API. Okay, you can check for Google Gemini Vision API or Google Vision API. That will tell you that can recognize the image, text into that. Azure has also similar functionality, and you can also just make a simple text summarization. So these are very starter ideas. Okay, so just make it yourself, put it on your own data, or you can take a data of a company and create a RAG bot. We have discussed what is RAG bot. Okay, RAG bot is basically a chatbot that is trained on company's data. Okay, okay, and okay, let's see how many of you. Okay, how many people are still with me, or you find it too hard or too much in one go? Like, is there anyone, if you wanted to put into something like it is too much to handle, too much to understand? If you wanted to share something, then we can move to the next one for the cloud apps. Else, we will call off the day because I think it's already too much for a day. So I won't go too much into depth. But yeah, let's. Okay, very interesting. Yeah, this field is very interesting. Even I am also using some AI agents and I have started recently started building. Uh, so I love that how powerful just two line of code and you can just it could be very powerful. Earlier, like let's suppose if I wanted to make an image scanner, it would take me 2 to 3 days minimum. Okay. These days I got a requirement in a company where we have to make a image scanner, document scanner, and it just took 5 minutes only. I just need to copy the API keys and model name, and it was working very fine. The client was very satisfied in just 5 minutes. They were like, "It's so fast." So it's a win-win for both. It's win-win for me because it just took 5 minutes. In win-win, it's win for them because it just saved them a lot of time. Okay. Now let's move on to the next one. What are the cloud cloud apps? Okay. So now we have talked about here, we have talked about generative AI project. Okay. Now let's talk about what are the projects you can make on cloud application. And trust me, if you create these projects, okay, if you create these projects, these three, and these three, you will be industry ready. This much confidently, I can tell you this right now, this session. Like you will be industry ready. You will be knowing a lot of things that people with 3 years of experience won't be aware of. So this is like Gen AI is really powerful. Like you can beat a person with 5 years of experience with some Gen AI skills. Okay, so it's just like a cool flex, but obviously it has some good power. Okay, so let's talk about cloud. We have talked about Lambda. Okay, so I can just show you AWS Lambda. So you can just go on over here. It's free to get started with. Okay. So you can run here, you can see that run code without thinking about servers and cluster. Okay, lot of people, I've seen lot of people, they are very good backend developer, they are very good front-end developer, but they never deploy their code online. Their code sits into their computer only. Don't be that guy. Just host your code if possible. So there is AWS Lambda, 1 million request is free. This is one. Another thing you can note it down for front-end deployment is Vercel. This Vercel.com is free for everyone. Okay. You can deploy your code over here. You can just type, check the name, and keep it with you. There is one more AI tool by Vercel is V0. So V0 can help you to develop things. Okay. Here you can see AI has been developing a lot of things. I can just quickly create a code for your site for me. Okay. We'll ask for a sign in. Let's check that out. Okay, we'll take GitHub. Okay. Anyways, if you will sign in and it will start generating code right away. Okay, you don't need to wait or anything. Make GitHub is signed in over here. You can see that it is thinking of plan, it is giving you style. You can see that how fast it is. See that how fast it is. It is already started working. So you will easily able to beat a lot of developer. It's really cool. It's Gen AI project. I will type, I will give you the website name so that you guys can also try. Okay, make sure to try this one at least. Don't try all, but at least try this one. And where you can learn. So most important resources, YouTube. You can learn from Coursera. You can learn from Udacity and edX. edX is very good. Coursera is also very good. YouTube is the best. From there I learn. Fast AI is good website where you get the news about that. Like Fast AI. I have checked it today. You can learn about AI, what are the trends going on, what is the technology. So people share important things come over here. Okay. Fast AI is that. And each and every company has their own documentation. Okay. So that is the most reliable source. So we have searched about Lambda, we can click on documentation. And let's suppose you wanted to learn about EC2. So click on EC2 and you can learn about EC2. Okay. It has user guide. It has user guide for development. So you have to open it and read it. But these days you can be very smart. You can just copy paste things and put into Chat GPT. Hey Chat GPT, help me to summarize. Help me to solve this. So you can also do this. And also Amazon has this Amazon Q as well. So you can utilize that as well. Here you can ask this something like this. Okay, you have to sign in here again. Okay. So anyways, you can sign in, you can ask question, what is Lambda? How can I use it in my apps? You can share details. You have cursor. You can write the name of cursor. It is basically, you can chat in lifetime with your code, the documentation. And also you can create your GitHub profile, Reddit, and there are a lot of developers on GitHub. So GitHub is very popular. GitHub Copilot is also another AI chatbot where you can chat with your code directly. Okay, Reddit is very active. So Reddit is also where you can try. And LinkedIn and Twitter is all-time high. You can also create a social media profile. I will share my LinkedIn as well so that you can keep in touch with me. Okay. So for now, I want to give you 2, 3 takeaways. That what you learn the basic. Now go read more about that. Check about tools. Check as many tools you can check, right? But important one is ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Quen, Cursor, V0. These all we have seen. And also keep making project, since you can see that how fast it is used to Vercel. You can see that the whole website is ready in 5 minutes. Okay, so keep making project. You can deploy it from here as well. I think there is option. Yeah, you can deploy it from here as well. So keep sharing project, keep making projects. Also, yeah, keep learn, be creative with your ideas. Okay. So that is the most important thing. Like no matter whatever you do, be creative with your ideas. Okay. Now feel free to ask the question if there is any doubt.
Students, you can share your questions in the chat box regarding cloud and AI.
You can also reach me out on LinkedIn as well. I have dropped my LinkedIn. So if you guys have any doubt, if you're feeling hesitant to ask over here, you can ask personal like personally on the LinkedIn. I'm very active over there. I will definitely answer your queries. Sir, is cloud computing required to learn even? Yeah, cloud computing is required. There are a lot of application which is running over the cloud. So you will be needing cloud computing to become a data analyst. Initially, you can learn your basics, but later on you will need cloud computing for all this stuff. It's good to have skill. Cloud computing is not, it's not now good to have. With AI coming in, it's must have skills, I can say. Anyone else have any question, any doubts, any feedback? See, I know it's too much in a one go, but if you have any question that must be bothering you from ages, like, hey, should I ask it or not? And don't hesitate, put it, I will answer it. So it shouldn't be, if it is something not related to your Gen AI or cloud, it should be related to your something else. You can ask. Said I want to cloud computing. Where can I start? Okay, search on. First of all, take AWS subscription. Search for AWS. Getting started with AWS on YouTube, and just start making few services. You can start with making one EC2 service. So from there you can start into cloud computing. Okay, anyone else have any answer, any question or anything to ask? We have few more minutes. We can take few questions more.
So,
Yeah.
why do generative AI chatbots often lack access to real-time information? Like, if I ask
Correct.
the ChatGPT, it is not giving me the date and time. Why it is not giving?
Okay, so basically we have talked about what is large language models. So large language models are the language models or the models which has been trained on the data, very large amount of data. So earlier when we were 2 3 years back, it was saying that it has been trained up to 2021. So people doesn't have trained on that data like further than 2021. But now ChatGPT has trained with a lot of good amount of data. Like it has been trained, it is working with real-time data. It has also access to internet. So these days, these are already up to date. But in case if you want to have the real-time data, you have to train those models. And that's where you as a Gen AI developer come into the picture. You train the data, you teach them, you make it more better. It is called fine-tuning of those models. Okay. So this is the main reason. Like it cannot be trained on all the data. But yeah, a lot of data has been already put into there. That is the reason someone has trained that. Like companies have put their efforts and money to put all those data inside that model. Okay. AI are cut off from the real world data. Earlier it was the case, but right now they have internet access as well. So a lot of data is already there. Anyone else has any question? bothering what is AI agent, I still don't know. So you can ask them. Is it good to start with AWS or Azure? I would prefer go with AWS because it is oldest in the market. It is the most popular one. And once you get good with it, go with Azure. If you wanted to work with OpenAI, ChatGPT, then go with Azure. But if you wanted to just learn cloud computing, AWS is the most popular one. And Azure is quite similar, but but the names are just changed. As a web developer, will knowing cloud computing will help me anyway every day. Like I was also a web developer, so once I started learning cloud computing, my package got increased in multifolds, and also cloud computing helps me to host my application, to launch my application, and it is very fast. Like you can check for Amplify as well, AWS Amplify. So these are the things where you can know like cloud computing that these days every application is just built on cloud. So it is must have skill as a web developer. Any other question? Some good question I can see. So might be helping everyone if you ask one question. So that I have learned Python recently. I wanted to go in. Okay, so if you wanted to go into AI industry, first learn Gen AI. Okay, and in the Gen AI, learn first RAG chatbot. Just build one RAG chatbot from scratch. Okay, you will know a lot of stuff. Okay, and if you wanted to go like a little bit earlier, like if RAG chatbot is too complicated, you can just use OpenAI key from Azure and build one chatbot. Once you do that, you will have understanding of thing and you will move ahead. And you have always ChatGPT. Keep asking ChatGPT like, what can I do next? What can I do next? It will help you out. Azure and AWS are similar to each other. I mean, they both have same command and code. Okay, they don't necessarily have same command, but functionality wise they are same, and just naming is different. Like machines, EC2 machines are called virtual machine on Azure, but they does the same thing. So yeah, mostly same, but code might be different, command might be different. That you can get it on ChatGPT or Google anyways, just one line. Like, hey, I wanted to launch EC2 or a virtual machine on Azure. Give me command. You will get that. Okay. Don't think that taking help of Google or AI is weak sign of weakness. It's not. Since you are in college, so lot of people think if I check it from AI, it will harm my reputation. No, it won't. You will be a better developer. So make sure to use that. Anyone else has any doubt? Okay. Okay, then let's move things to my, if you want to move, you can ping me privately as well. It's really nice to having you on. You have been good listener and you asked good questions. So I love that you got basic understanding and you will start your journey. And I'm always open to help. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much, sir, for joining us. And it was a great engaging session with us, the students. They were so engaging today, comparing. They're so
Yeah,
energetic today
yeah, that's good
because of the
to know that.
technologies. Because of the
Yeah,
technologies, AI and cloud computing, they're so engaging and they're so interested to learn. Thanks.
I must say that they must all learn because it is now no, new industry norm. Like it is going to be it is going to be deciding their future as well. So yeah, keep working, keep be start being creative and start making apps with the help
That,
of Gen AI and cloud computing. Thank you so much.
that
Thank
they
you.
will definitely
Bye.
follow it. So thank you so much joining us. Thank you from the team of Slate Valley. Thank you for joining us.
Thank
Thank you,
you. Thank you.
Swample, accepting our invite and giving your valuable time to us. And it's
Uh,
too honor to have you here. And we will be planning furtherly some more sessions on behalf of Slate Valley.
surely,
Sure,
surely,
definitely.
if people are interested, then surely we can go ahead with some more.
Definitely, they are interested, sir. They're so active today comparing to other sessions.
Oh, sure. So that's good to hear that. Thank you so much, all. Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you,